Hi, my name is Julianne, also known as Roadrunner, and I'm a long distance trail through hiker. Today, I'm gonna talk about whether one should use a bear canister or not. Okay, so if you are new to through hiking, or you have the aspirations to through hike or to do multi-day hikes and camping overnight, you come across this thing called a bear canister. Now there are 3 different ways to carry your food, and they are all really related to keeping critters away from your food, right? They're called bear bags or bear canisters because that's the biggest critter you're trying to not get to your food, right? So we have a normal food bag, which is generally made out of Dyneema or other material. It's just a bag that you take and generally you hang it on a tree high enough so that a bear or other critters can't get to it. You have something called an sack, which is supposed to be bear proof, as in like the bear supposedly can't get into it. You are not necessarily required to hang it on a high limb. Supposedly you can just kind of keep it away and the bear isn't gonna get to it. And then of course we have a bear canister, which is a big bulky device. I think it's made, I don't know what it's made of. Plastic something, and it is almost, not really, but almost bear proof, as in like it's very difficult for a bear to get into a bear canister. And I mean, it's difficult for humans to get into a bear canister at times. So a bear getting into a bear canister, the chances are a lot less than a bear getting into like a normal food/bear bag. I think the most important thing about understanding this whole food thing is that a lot of people misunderstand what these are for. People think that a bear canister keeps you safer. Now, it does as a byproduct of what it actually is made for. So it's very important to note that bear canisters are not odor proof. A bear has an amazing sense of smell. The bear will still smell the food in a bear canister. The same thing about an sack. In fact, sack actually recommends for you to have an odor proof bag called OPSAC. They say to combine that, which then supposedly helps prevent from a bear to smell what's in your sack. Once again, even an odor-proof bag is not odor-proof. It helps to reduce the smell, but it's not odor-proof. And then of course, a normal bear bag, food bag, that you just hang up in the tree is definitely not odor-proof at all. You can combine a normal bear bag with a odor-proof plastic bag as well. I mean, all of those combinations actually can work together. So they are not made for you to be safer. Like if you, for example, have a bear canister inside of your tent, it's not keeping you safer, as in like the bear still smells the food. However, it does keep the people safer as a byproduct, right? Because what is the point of all of this is that an animal does not get rewarded after getting into your food. So like if a bear sees a bear bag and it's hanging on a tree, then, you know, the bear somehow has an ability to get it down from the tree. Somehow, sometimes they do. And then it gets into your food bag, it gets rewarded. It starts thinking, oh, there's all this delicious food in the trees. Clearly I can get to it. So the bear gets rewarded, therefore endangering humans a lot more. So the same thing goes for the sacks, the bear canisters. All of those things are made so that a bear or other critters do not get rewarded. Like a bear canister, if a bear ends up being able to open it by throwing it down a hill, smashing it against rocks, some bears are so smart, then eventually they figure out, hey, I can actually get into this device. And so now it is more likely to come around areas where there are a lot of people, because they know wherever the people are, there will be these delicious little bags hanging all over the place, as well as the bear canisters. And so now they're going to be a lot more inclined to get into campsites, and then eventually, you know, they're trying to get into the food, so you become a byproduct of them getting to the food, meaning they might attack you because they want to get to the food, right? And so ultimately that is really what these bags and canisters are for. It's not odor proof, so having a bear canister in your tent does not mean that you are safe, right? The goal really is to prevent from a bear and other critters to get to it, as well as to be rewarded by it. So therefore you hang the bear bags into a tree, because a bear may get to it in a tree, but a lot of times they can't, especially if you have certain ways of putting them in a tree, like with a PCT bear hang. Look that up. That is a really great way for a bear not to get to your food at all. Now is the question, which one should I actually get? Well, it's really up to you. You know, the lightest option is the regular food bag, but you have to have the skill of being able to hang the food bag in a tree. And a lot of people don't want to deal with it at the end of the hiking day. They're tired, they're exhausted. They really don't want to do that. So if you are not interested in having to hang your food in a tree, then perhaps an sack or a bear canister is a better option. Now, an sack is obviously lighter than a bear canisters. I believe bear canisters are anywhere from 1 to 2 pounds extra weight on top of the food that you're carrying. So you have to really consider, am I more inclined to want to carry something a little bit heavier and, you know, not have to hang it in a tree? Or would I rather have something lighter and hang my food in the tree? Now, a bear canister still needs to be placed away from your tent far enough so that if a bear ends up seeing it, starts playing with it, and then doesn't get into it, you know, you're still safer that way if the food is not near you. So definitely do that, and the same thing with the sack. So it's really up to you. Do you want to carry heavy and not have to hang something in a tree? Or are you more inclined to keep your weight down, but then you have to have that skill of hanging your food in a tree? So that's my little video about whether to bear canister or to not bear canister.